Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Luminosity Muse, where we do tarot, astrology, personal development, and all things spiritual. So if you like these types of videos, we are doing a pick a card reading today. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you can be notified for the next video. And if at any point in the readings something resonates with you, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat with you all. So diving into the topic of today's reading, we are looking into your possible next big blessing, whatever blessing is coming next into your life. And yeah, I'll talk about the pick a card. It was very interesting. I already filmed the readings. There's some themes that were kind of reoccurring, so feel free to watch more than one if you are drawn to several groups. And I thought it was really interesting because the cards for the intro all have some kind of like bluish green tint to them. I actually just randomly like pulled them and this is what came up. So go ahead and pick the one that resonates most with you or something that you're drawn to the most. It can be the imagery, the crystal name, or the numbers. And then go ahead and check out the timestamps down below and click on it, and I will meet you in your reading. I'll see you guys there. Bye. Hi, group one. If you chose the Aquamarine card or crystal, then this is going to be your reading. So we'll put Aquamarine down just for a moment here as we get started with your tarot cards. We are looking into your next upcoming blessings. Our tarot cards are oppression. I believe this is the devil in the traditional tarot. This did come up in reverse. I actually was not going to read reversals today, but when I was shuffling, this actually came out twice in reverse. Like it originally flipped over in reverse and I tried to put it upright and it just kept flinging out of my hand, so I just kept it reversed. We have 3 of Wands. Just want to make sure that we have room here because this is a big reading. The Sun. And we have the 3 of Crystals. Okay, so we'll start with your tarot cards and then we'll go from there. Okay, so group 1. This is great. I love seeing that we have the oppression or the devil in reverse in terms of this reading. And for the rest of your cards, what I see for you is a blessing of some kind of like bad habit or something that really is not serving you ending. So before I get into the meaning of the cards, I just want to go over what it was like shuffling your cards, because I always take that into account, especially if there's some weird behaviors. When I was shuffling your card, like half of the deck kept flinging out and I had to keep picking them up and reshuffling them and trying to get the cards out, because really all I needed were 4 cards. And it just kept going with this cycle of like half of the deck coming out, and obviously that's too much for the reading. So I do see this as something that it's a cycle that's been going on in your life, and it's something that's been holding you back or keeping you chained. And for a lot of the times, the devil can represent like addictions, bad habits, or just things that sometimes it can even be guilty pleasures. For me, for example, sometimes it's just like overdoing it with junk food, or that's my guilty pleasure. Is yes, it's good to eat comfort foods when it serves you, when you're really just soft soothing and everything, but it can, you know, as everything, like it can be something in excess, and something that can be bad for you if you overdo anything, as with all things that should be done in moderation. For some of you, I did see this as, it can be a person, it can be a relationship. It doesn't even have to be romantic, but just someone that you've had trouble with in the past in terms of boundaries. This person has really kept you chained, maybe has had an influence in your life that has not been the best for you. And this doesn't even have to be like bad influences in terms of what society calls as a bad influence in today's world. It can even just be this person's beliefs and ideals. Like maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do in life and they've just always discouraged you or put you down. Or like I said, this doesn't even have to be a relationship. For some of you, this could be a breaking off of a relationship. And I don't want to scare anyone that's in a relationship right now and they're thinking, oh my God, we're going to break up or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to scare you. Since this is already in reverse and it's in this position, if it is a person, I already feel like you already know what I'm talking about. Like this is already in the process, and I do see that you've been resisting this in the past, and you even might understand what this cycle is about, whether it's a person, a cycle, a bad habit that you know you've been trying to get rid of and you just haven't been able to break. I do see you finally breaking out of that and really just expanding your world. We have some really positive cards here with the Three of Wands and the Sun. I see you breaking out of this. For some of you, this could even bring in like an epiphany or an opportunity to travel. Maybe I'm getting like a work trip for some of you. Maybe, oh, that's interesting. So I'm getting this message that taking a work trip or a short trip just in general kind of helps give you the perspective that you've been looking for, to finally release whatever this is. So that could be it for a couple of you. For others, this could just be that you've finally been able to break free of whatever this is, and then you're seeing life in a very different way. You're seeing it as if you were a kid again, and really getting in touch with your playfulness, your playful, childlike inner child side, and just learning to fall in love with life again, and learning how to enjoy it and be with yourself, and enjoying what it's like to be with yourself, not bogged down by restrictions, and learning that there's like a whole universe out there. There's a whole platitude of opportunities. And for others of you, if it has something to do with money, I do see some kind of support coming in. And your message for that is to be open to it, to be open for the support that maybe it's a relative or a friend or a family member that's helping you get out of this. Maybe it's a place. Maybe it's your current location and you've been wanting to move out of the way because it's too far from work or too far from home, and it's caused a lot of inconveniences in your life. And maybe a family member or a friend is just finally giving you the money. Maybe in the past you felt like you couldn't do anything with whatever the situation is, and someone is finally reaching out to you, or maybe you finally feel ready to tell someone about it and to ask for help. That's the thing that I'm getting, is don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to take help, to take in whatever support that you're being given, because this is partly the universe working in the background and trying to give this to you, but you do have to accept it. This is very specific. It will only be for a very specific number of you. So if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. Always take what resonates and leave the rest. With the sun, I was getting a message of a child. So for those of you that are trying or wanting to have a child, this could be a very welcome message, or maybe part of... Oh, that's interesting. Maybe like it's like a blockage of starting a family, and for some reason, something is going to come in. Some good news is going to come in about starting your family that has to do with bringing a child into your family. So this is very specific. Like I said, maybe it's adoption for some of you, or maybe you're getting some good news from your doctor about this. I just want to put that out there for those of you that are, that are wanting that. If that's not for you, then it's definitely more of the message about connecting more with your inner child and your inner creativity. Maybe learning what that means for you again will help you reconnect with what's possible for you out there. I'm even sensing like a new career for some of you in this term, maybe by getting in touch with your inner child and leaving behind ideals and beliefs that have been holding you back in the past, and finally releasing them, that you're able to finally tap into what you really want to do, who you really want to be, and what's really authentic to you. So that's very good news, group 1. And I know you chose the Aquamarine. Actually, let me see what other cards you got as we dive in deeper here, and then we'll talk about the Aquamarine. So these next, before I get into it, this next part of the reading is just to see some blockages regarding this blessing before it can come in, and also what your life could look like at that time when you do get that message, or not message, well, it could be a message for some of you. A blessing, even like a big blessing, can just start with a message, right? And it can spiral into something very abundant. So that's what we're gonna look into, is what it could look like, and then we'll see what the universe's advice is for you, and we'll also look at timing. So let's take a look at possible blockages and what your life could look like. Okay. I did pull a crystal card for everybody on top of what card that you initially chose for that. Let me just make sure that it's on camera. Okay. And then we have, oh, that's so funny. This one I actually did not see when I was shuffling. We have child eternal, light attributes, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Your reading is all about perspective, group 1, and we're going to get into that. So it's really interesting that you chose Aquamarine and that you got the green Aventurine, because let me move this out of the way. So Aquamarine it's very connected to the element of water, and it's very much about flow. And it's this idea that, and this is very interesting, because now that I'm looking back on the energy of your reading, and even when I was shuffling, there was this feeling of overwhelm. It just like, it felt like a huge wave washing over you that's just overwhelming, and that you were kind of getting lost in it. That's what it felt like. And that's what Aquamarine is about, is learning to flow with that wave, but not getting bogged down by the weight of it all. So if you've been feeling, because sometimes the devil, or this card oppression, a lot of the times we with this card, we don't see, or this energy, we don't see when we're being chained down by our own self-sabotage. That word is coming up very heavily. So for a lot of you actually, this could be about self-sabotage patterns that you've had in the past, and you're finally breaking free out of it. Something is coming in that is getting you out of this. That reminds me of the book The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. If the message of oh my gosh, I'm losing myself in this energy. But if the message of self-sabotage is resonating with you, I would give that book a chance. It talks about self-sabotage really well, and it helps things put into perspective about ourselves and our own reflections with it. But back to the Aquamarine card, this is about clarity. When we're feeling overwhelmed and when a lot of emotions and thoughts are flooding in, and learning how to find and embrace that energy and finding like your center within that. I know that sounds very woo-woo, but it's true. It's that idea of having like an eye in the storm, where you're able to find the calm and be able to discern between everything that's confusing and overwhelming in your life and internally, and being very heart-centered. Green aventurine is the heart chakra. This is also very good in terms of abundance and luck. So once you get past this and whatever is blocking you, I do see a windfall of abundance coming in, which is really good. You'll have some really good luck coming in. And I mean, we can even see that with your tarot cards. Definitely lots of opening and lots of just abundant opportunities flooding in for you once you get past this block. And just having a more open heart. I feel like you're getting caught in the middle of just overwhelm, and maybe it would be good to do some more grounding exercises, like I said, especially for those of you that had that self-sabotage idea resonating. Definitely read that book. She also has some good grounding ideas for that if you're having trouble with this energy. I mean, I think we talked about what your life would look like too already. Once you do receive this blessing, I think you're going to really get in touch with your childlike self, what it was like when you were young, how things feel when you were young. I'm getting this message also of feeling what it was like to love, like it was your first love. So that's very interesting. That could be very specific for some of you. If I'm also hearing something about like a dating burnout, maybe you've been burnt out in dating lately and decided to take a break, or maybe that's a good message for some of you, taking a break, giving yourself time to breathe, and getting in touch with that idea again that, you know, love can be, and romance in general can be just beautiful and fun and flirty and like it was your first love. Okay, let's see what other cards you have. Actually, let's look at what the timing is like for this before I get to the last card. So we have Waxing Moon. The energy is gaining momentum. That's kind of what I felt as I was shuffling cards and going through the reading. I feel like this is very near because I know we're about to head into a new moon. I think we're already in a release phase of the moon, if I remember correctly. I think while I'm filming this. Actually, that might, sorry, let me backtrack a bit. That might not be true when I'm filming this, but since I am filming this and the energy of this is close to when the new moon is, I'm gonna say that this could be very soon. This could be within a week, or a little bit over a week for some of you. Maybe if we translate that in terms of months, it could be a month away. Or maybe when the next waxing moon is, or when the moon is building up, or right after a new moon. So that's something that could be used for timing. Take it with a grain of salt, because timing is always very volatile when it comes to readings. Things can change very easily. The other thing I'm getting is this card. And the reason why I say I feel like it's very close to what's happening around you right now is because I feel that whoever picked this reading, you're already going through this. So very soon you are going to get that release, that openness, that unchaining and unraveling even. So 15. The number 15 could be very significant, and this timing it could be 15 days. It could be the 15th. It could be on the 1st or the 5th. That something is happening to basically open this floodgate. I'm seeing like a chain, like a chain of events happening. All right, and let's see what action and advice the universe wants from you. Release. This card did not flip out when I was shuffling, so I actually did not get to see that. But yeah. Fall could be a significant time period for this also. I know we're very far away from the fall if you're in the northern hemisphere, but who knows, maybe some of you are in a different part of the world and you could be heading into fall. That could be very soon, because I know in the northern hemisphere we're in the spring summer right now, or at least when I'm filming this. And I made this into a timeless reading, so that could be a significant time for you. Sometimes timing wise also, what I've noticed in my readings or in my own personal experiences, this could be reflective of the work that's been happening with this. Maybe, for example, if it's in the spring now, maybe all of this started when I was in the fall and it's about to resolve itself, and that could be significant. That could be a significant message for some of you, because if you like to do reflections, then that's something that's really important to know. But I'm really happy for you, Group 1, because this is a beautiful feeling, to feel unchained, to feel limitless, and to believe in possibilities again, and not feel like you don't have anywhere else to go. You don't have any other choices. This is freedom that you're feeling, and expansion, and just pure joy. I'm very happy for you. So just for an ending message, we'll go ahead and get you an affirmation. Oh, yeah, see. I mean, I'm doing this on camera, which sometimes I feel like is very awkward shuffling. But as you guys saw, like a whole bunch of cards flipped out again, and that tends to happen with your energy for some reason today. But here's the card that we got. Let it all go. Again, release. Let it go. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Don't let pain, anger, or guilt control you. Ooh, that's interesting. So this word really stuck out to me when I flipped the card over. Definitely forgiving yourself. if there's something in a past chapter or this past chapter, because this feels like a new chapter for a lot of you. And if that's something that's affecting your situation right now, you need to know that, you know, not everything is your fault. Not everything has to be on you, and you need to stop being so hard on yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive others. You know, let it be a lesson and move forward from it, because there's so much more for you out there. There's so much more that you could do. There's so much more joy and abundance that you could have, and you deserve that happiness. So yeah, I hope this brought you some comfort, some relief, some clarity. If you did enjoy the reading, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. If you like these types of readings or anything that has to do with astrology, spirituality, manifestation, any of that, personal development, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. It really helps my channel out, and I really appreciate you guys. And let me know some thoughts that you had in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hi group 2, welcome. If you chose the turquoise card, then this is your reading. I'll get into the turquoise later. I did pull another one of these in the reading for you, so I'll get into that later. But for now, we're going to start off with your tarot cards and get straight into whatever this is, what your blessing is. Coming in. Knight of Swords, Five of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and we have Awakening, which I believe is the Judgment card in this deck. Okay. All right. Let me just get settled here. It's really interesting that you chose the turquoise card. I guess I'll get into this now. Since I'm already talking about it, but turquoise, it's a very calming card. It's definitely about calm and clarity. It's about being aware of the stories that we tell ourselves and how we reframe it. It's about truth and clarity, because that's how you get clarity. That's how you get to the truth of you, of your authenticity, and what you believe is true about your situation and yourself. It depends on the story that you tell yourself about your situation. And I think that's very interesting, because what your cards are telling me about the blessing that's coming in for you, your next big blessing, is there's a possibility of something coming back around. It could be an opportunity, like a relationship. Even if that doesn't resonate for you, don't panic. I get it. But that's only if it resonates, okay? Or maybe even some kind of closure that you're looking for. It was something that you were very disappointed in. Maybe something you even felt like you failed in. Maybe disappointed in yourself for how you did. And something that has really beat down on your confidence, on your own authenticity and truth, and your own capabilities of what you feel like you could do. It's really destroyed your confidence. And I don't say that word lightly. Like, I usually would choose destroyed as like it's a very strong word, so I usually choose something a little bit lighter. But that's what's coming through. So whatever this is, I'm very sorry, group 2, if you have felt quite defeated in the past few months, but something is coming back around, like an opportunity to pick this back up with yourself, to show yourself that, well, who you really are and what you're really capable of, and maybe even showing you that whatever this disappointment is, you know, it was meant to be. Whatever coming in that's new for you is much better, and something that's in way more in alignment with yourself, way more in alignment with what you actually wanted, and something that provides you much more happiness and vitality in your life. And I'm also seeing that part of the blessing that's coming in for you in this is focus. You're going to be very, very focused the next few months, and you're going to be very determined in whatever this is. So if I were to give an example, this could have been like a very big test, or I'm trying to think of a better example. Oh, there we go. I'm getting a picture of like a job interview. Maybe you've been interviewing at some places, there was a really good opportunity for something, and you just feel like you didn't prepare enough or do well enough for an interview. But this time you're prepared. This time you know what you did wrong in the past, and this time you're taking everything that you've learned from your past experience in an interview. I'm getting like an image of someone interviewing for a tech interview. I know those can be very daunting. Maybe you studied more for it this time, and because you were able to experience and maybe even fail in the past one, you're more confident with it this time. You're more open to let things fall where they may, and you have had more time to practice and study, and you actually maybe even just studying for it. Maybe you didn't know where and how to focus last time, and now you do. Again, this is just an example. Take it for what resonates and how it applies to your situation. But because you know the path this time, and that is with the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is very determined, very focused, and they take, you know, the most efficient path. And that's what I'm getting for you. And whatever your pursuit is, don't be afraid to go after it. Don't let your past hold you back. Don't let whatever this disappointment is keep you down, because it's not going to be the same. And with the message of the turquoise here, and whatever way you reframe this, don't reframe it in a way that it's not being disappointed in yourself. It should be that you're learning from what was in the past so you could succeed in the future. It's a lesson. It's not a failure. It's something that will lead you to something better and even greater. Because now you have the knowledge. Now you have the path, like the blueprint. And for some of you, if you feel like you're not there yet, if you feel like you are awakening or getting like the focus for this, because the energy that I was getting with this, and even like the imagery here, there's so much fogginess. You are getting the blueprint. I feel like that's part of your blessing. If you don't have it already, you're getting the blueprint, the map to attaining whatever it is that you've been trying to attain, and figuring out the best path forward to that and gaining the clarity for it. Also, this is very specific. So there's two specific things that were coming through with the Queen of Wands. One, some of you could actually be getting like a guide, a furry friend, if you're trying to get a dog or a cat or whatever furry friend that you had in mind. That could be very specific to some of you, like I said. If maybe you were trying to adopt a furry friend before, and maybe you were just second place to an adoption that you were really excited about, this time you are going to get it. The other thing that I was getting with the Queen of Wands was a glow up. Maybe some of you have been trying to do a glow up. I'm hearing some kind of like health or weight loss journey. I don't want to get into that because I know that can be a trigger for some people, but yeah, something about the body, something about like a health journey. Maybe in the past you were disappointed because you couldn't stay consistent and you were really like beating on yourself about it. This time, I feel like you're going to find something that really works for you. That's the thing with health journeys. I feel like that's happening online, and it is misleading people right now with it, like how like sometimes things are currently promoted. That you have to keep in mind is how it's framed. Just because something works for someone doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone. And maybe in the past you've just been getting information or things that just haven't worked for you, but this time you're going to find one, the blueprint on how you really can get to your glow up goal or your health journey or whatever it is. Something that really, really works for you and something that you really can stick by and be consistent with. Okay, so let's get into your oracle cards. We're going to look at what your life could look like when you do receive this blessing and what could be blocking it at the moment. So we have for your other card, I think it's Euclase. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But another blue. When I was getting images while I was shuffling, I saw a lot of blue, and I'll get into that. And then we have, oh my god, it's another blue, and it says guide. What did I say about that? The guide. A guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Okay. So let's talk about this blue before I get into anything else. Blue is very much the throat chakra, and I think it's very fitting with what I was talking about with turquoise, about reframing what's authentically true to you. Like, it's not the truth of the outside. It's not the truth of society. It's not true for everybody. It's what's true for you. And that is a throat chakra. When your throat chakra is balanced and aligned, you are operating in your authentic self. You are able to follow your own truth, speak your own truth, flow with your own truth, whatever you want to think about it in that way. And I know I'm not as familiar with this card, but I also know it has to do with that in some way. It has to do with being truthful and honest with ourselves. And actually, I have the guidebook right here. Let me just read that for you, because it's actually, I know this has a really good message for this card because I've gotten this in the past before. Okay, so we have wisdom from within, inner truth. What did I say? Aligning with divine intelligence, which is funny because we have that a little bit here. Trusting your own earned wisdom. I'm not going to read all of this because it's a really long message. I'll read up to here because the other ones are more specific. When you are distracted by all the noise and stimulation that are a part of our lives now, it can be hard to trust that you have what it takes to make wise choices. The appearance of Euclase spirit is a sign that valuable insights can be found through tapping into your intuitive intelligence. When it comes to knowing truth, there is no substitute for lived experience that has been recalled and examined through a process of alchemy. Your experience have generated wisdom that can guide you when you feel lost or confused. You know more than you think. Trust your inner wisdom, for it is guided by the conscious universe. You are learning that fear can distort your intuitive intelligence. So release any worry and tune in within. You have a vast library of knowledge available to you and wise and loving guidance that will help you. Yeah, so that explains a lot, and I'm actually getting a lot more messages now after reading that, and after I feel like I'm more tuned into your energy now. So let me just back up. So before I get into more of the messages that's coming in, I do recommend tuning into your throat chakra, or maybe doing some balancing with it, because I did see a lot of blue when I was shuffling your cards, and I think that would be very important for you. Do some throat chakra exercises. Affirmations would be good, saying that in front of a mirror while you're viewing yourself, wearing blues, or eating blueberries maybe, but that might help you get more in touch with your throat chakra and get more in touch with yourself and your inner wisdom. That actually gives a clearer picture with this Five of Cups. Whatever this is, like I said, may have destroyed your confidence, but it also probably affected your alignment with your own inner truth and your intuition. Maybe you've lost touch or trust in yourself and in your inner wisdom, and this blessing coming in is going to help rebalance that and help regain the trust and the alignment that you had with yourself, with your own authenticity, and just your trust in your own intuition. You'll be able to hear it and get in touch with it a lot easier again, and maybe even opening that, especially with this awakening card here. I'm also getting that for those of you that are getting, a fur baby or a guide, there could be a new spirit guide that wants to work with you when you receive this. Take that as it resonates if you believe in that, but also I feel like for those of you that are getting a pet or some kind of fur baby, they're really going to help you get in tune with yourself again. Like having them around somehow is going to help reclaim your trust in your intuition and also your trust and confidence in yourself again. So that's really good, and I'm very happy for you, group 2. Let's look at timing, and then we'll look at the advice from Spirit. We have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries, and like always with timings can be very volatile in the tarot and oracle readings, so take it with a grain of salt. So whenever you're seeing this could be coming in during Aries season, or I'm also like just getting this repeating circle, like a repeating arrow circle imagery. It could be that this is starting now and it's going to take like a year to complete. So like if you're on a health journey, maybe it'll take you like 1 year to fully complete it. This could also happen in the months of a fire season. So that could be like March, April for Aries, July, August for Leo season. There's also Sagittarius season, which is end of November to December, and then I'm missing one more, and I'm so sorry for am I missing one more? Okay, and then the other thing I was getting were any starts of the season. Okay, so let's see what Sorry, I'm laughing. It's just like it's funny like how many synchronicities there are in your reading, because you have awakening here, we have enlightenment also. I think I've said it before, but there's a lot here about perspective also and reframing. So I believe this blessing coming in for you is really going to give you that other perspective, and also the ability to just reframe things and see things in a different way, especially when it comes to dealing with your path, group 2. And for those of you that love journaling, that could be a really good journal idea, is just thinking about your past, thinking about your own failures or things that didn't work out or negative things that you've said about yourself. This is a really fun and good exercise for you, and to see how you can reframe it. So going back to that job interview experience, so you can look back on the other ones, and you probably thought I was a failure or you did bad in that interview, and you can say now that I, learn what I needed to for future endeavors, future interviews. I know what not to say in future interviews, or maybe this time I'll know even what to ask interviewers, and what other things to ask about in terms of salary or the job or about the team and things like that. You have experience, you have wisdom now, and you can use it moving forward. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the messages. I'm just gonna draw an affirmation to send you off with for your reading. And as always, it always feels so awkward shuffling on camera. I'm just hoping that this is in the frame. Okay. This is taking a while to come out. Okay, there we go. All right. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. What you believe is what you will create, and you can do anything. Yeah, this isn't group 2. This isn't just reclaiming your own truth, reclaiming and trusting yourself again. This is about, believing in yourself, and also believing in your dreams, believing that it can happen. Just because something didn't work out in the past doesn't mean that it's going to repeat itself over and over again. You've learned from it, you've evolved, and you have moved forward from it. You can do this. Hi guys, quick editing Nicole here. So I was filming my outro for this reading and just wanted to say thank you to you all, but my camera overheated. So I am refilming this part. The reading is done. I want to thank you all for being here and letting me read for you. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want to see future readings and anything related to astrology, spirituality, personal development, and if you just want to have a chat. And please go ahead and let me know any thoughts, comments, if anything resonated with you in this reading, down in the comments below. Thank you so much again, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group 3. If you chose the Hematite crystal, then this is your reading. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. We're going to start off with your tarot cards for now. And I just want to say, I had to charge my camera before I got to your reading. And I have no idea why I can't get the camera straight. So I'm sorry. I've been adjusting it several times before I started your reading, but it just won't go straight for some reason. So I apologize for that. But yeah, let's get into your tarot cards. Let's see what your next big blessing is. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay. Making sure I have enough room here. 8 of Cups. Wow, double eights. 6 of Wands. And we have the 7 of Crystals. Okay, wow. Oh my god. 6, 7, 8. Wow, okay. Group 3. If you've been having, or just in general, tune in if you're seeing repeating numbers or consequential, oh my god, repeating numbers in sequence, or eights, triple eights, or 6, 7, 8, just anything like in a sequence, I guess. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding my words, but that is a good sign for you to take a look around, see what's happening in your environment. Is the universe trying to get your attention? That could definitely be something that is happening for you, or something that could be happening before your blessing comes in, or maybe the universe is trying to give it to you then. So just pay attention to that. So what I'm seeing for you is that whatever this blessing is coming in, when it does, it's going to happen very fast. And it's also going to happen in a sequence, like a chain of events, and it's all going to fall into place like boom, boom, boom. It's like a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. And this is really interesting because you have the 8 of Cups here. And it almost feels... So 8 of Cups usually means that you're leaving something behind in search of something more fulfilling. So, while your reading has a very empowering and happy tone to it, there is a bit of a bittersweet, somber note. It feels like you're leaving something behind, or you might already be leaving it right now to receive this blessing. And this feels like something that you've been trying to manifest for a while now. Maybe you've had several attempts at it, and it's on and off. Like you feel like you get halfway there, and then it just doesn't work out. You have to settle for something, and you get back to this place. It's like a loop, which is interesting because I think group 1 also had a message about loops, so check that out if you're interested. But yeah, it feels like there's this loop that you've been going around, and you've been having to settle for something that isn't fully what you wanted, and you've had to be very patient about it. There's a very frustrated undertone to this card with the 7 of Crystals. This is the card of patience, but this blessing and this manifestation is coming in now. And what I'm getting is you've had to learn several lessons before this blessing came in, before this manifestation came in, so you can be at a place where you can really accept it and appreciate it and fully enjoy it. But I just want you to know that if you're looking for signs, I already told you a little bit about it, and just pay attention to the signs and synchronicities and the numbers, because I think it's something that's very important for you. For a lot of the people in this group, you might be really into angel numbers. So definitely look out for those triple numbers, like 888, like I said, or the sequential numbers. And also, sorry, one moment, my cat is about to knock over the lights. I wanted to circle back to this 8 of Cups, because whatever this is, you are going to be leaving something behind. So that could be a relationship. This might be happening for some of you now, and I don't want to scare anybody. So if you are content in your relationship, that's fine. Take what resonates. But whatever this is, especially because the nature of the Eight of Cups, when the Eight of Cups shows up, we usually already have like a push towards it. We already know internally that this is what we're leaning towards. So if you don't have that already, then that message is probably not for you. This could be also about a career that just isn't serving you anymore, maybe, or a job. Maybe you've learned all you can in that, you've gotten everything out of it, and it feels like it's time to change. And once you've fully committed to that decision, even internally, because this is the Eight of Cups, so you have to fully commit your own emotions and your own self to this belief and this idea that you're going to let go of what no longer serves you and be brave to walk away and pursue what it is that you really want, or in the direction that you want. Or maybe that direction is just the unknown. Just to see what's out there and to see how else you can grow. And if you're worried about that at all, know that you'll be triumphant this time around. You have the Six of Wands here, which means you'll surpass any challenge. You'll be victorious against it. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards, so maybe we can get more information about this. Let's take a look at what could be blocking you and also what your life could look like once this blessing comes in. We have the orange calcite, and that does go with the Hematite card you originally chose. And then we have damsel. Light attributes. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Okay. That's interesting because I was getting a bit of a message of codependency earlier, but it wasn't coming in strongly enough, so I didn't say it. So maybe the fear that you've had is that you're not sure if you can do everything by yourself, or that you can support your own self. Well, yes, it's always important to ask for help, but you know, we all are our own sovereigns. Like, we are allowed to express our own, I can't even say the word sovereignty. If that's right, I'm sorry if that's wrong. But basically, we all have our own leadership qualities in us, and that comes with being able to lead and lean into our own authenticity and what's right for us, and we can support ourselves with that, as well as the people that will fully uplift us and support us in the things that we do, no matter how much it goes against what society says. So for example, if if you're thinking of wow, there's some of you out there that really need some throat chakra clearings, because I'm getting like a blockage in my throat right now, which is interesting because group 2 was actually having that as well. So that might be a good one for you to watch as well. But back to what I was saying also with this damsel and this light, this damsel light attribute and the orange calcite, you know, this is being comfortable with yourself and knowing that you are capable of taking care of your own self, and that the people who are meant to be in your life, who truly matter and care about you, will support you. And what true support looks like is that they support you even if it's not what society says is the right thing to do. So let's say you're scared to move out or something, or maybe you have roommates and you want to live by yourself, and you have people that are just saying, oh, you know, why do you want to move out right now? It's such a hassle to move and things like that. But it's something you've always wanted to try and do, and now you have the funds and you want to try and make it on your own. Well, you can. That's your own right. And in a way, that's how you'll grow. Just because, you know, being comfortable only helps you grow at a certain amount. Like, maybe whatever that place is, and I'm just using like the whole roommate thing and moving out as an example, but there's a lot that you can learn from living with others as well as living by yourself. There's lessons in both of that. And if you've gotten all the lessons that you've had with your current roommates or living with roommates, then maybe it's time to see what new lessons and what new things you can accomplish by yourself. And yes, there's going to be challenges, but you're going to be triumphant over it. The other message that I had with Hematite, and it does tie in nicely because this is all about really getting connected with your own body and yourself and really grounding. And here's the thing. You have the 8 of Cups here and the 7 of Crystals. So going back to my example with the moving out, I feel like in the past you've talked yourself out of doing something that what you really wanted and settled. Maybe this time you only have 1 roommate or 2 roommates. Maybe in the past you've had a lot more. Maybe you lived in a dorm or something. And you just, when things were getting intense and emotional and you were getting overwhelmed by the energy, maybe what you really needed was just to ground so you can fully process what's going on. And I see this coming up while you're going through this transition of, you know, finally realizing, okay, now is the time. Now this is my next move, and whatever it is, once you fully commit to whatever that decision is, you might start to have fears of the past come back up, or maybe not even fears of the unknown, fears of the future, whether you'll be able to make it on your own. It's funny because I have, oh my gosh, that song is such a flashback. I don't know if you guys remember the song by the Cheetah Girls. What is that one? I think it was called Cinderella. I'm not gonna try and sing because I can't really sing. But I remember the lyrics was like, I don't want to be like Cinderella sitting in an old dusty cellar waiting for somebody to come and set me free. Yeah, that's it. That's the song. But that's basically, that's the feel of your reading, is that you don't need someone to come and save you. You don't need someone else to make this decision for you. This has to come from you. And whenever you're having those feelings come up of worry about this and that, what if this happens? What if that happens? Spirit is asking you to ground down first before you make any big decisions regarding this, or you talk yourself out of it. Like, journal, go outside, take a walk, exercise, do yoga class, do any form of exercise or any way that you want to move your body, and then think about it, think it through in a grounded manner, one that can honor what you need in the sense of the practicality, as well as what your heart and your emotions are actually asking. What is it that you really want? Because here's the thing. If you keep giving into those excuses, and I'm sorry if this is a hard message for some of you to hear, you're going to end up back here. You're going to repeat the cycle where you'll get to a place again where it feels like you're settling, and you'll realize that no, this isn't really what I want. What I want is this thing that I've been waiting for this whole time, and I'm getting frustrated about it. And I don't, like, I'm sorry if that's giving into some fear for some of you, and if it's triggering, then feel free to skip it. But I also don't want to sugarcoat this, especially because you have the Six of Wands here. It does say that you're going to be triumphant in it. And with the orange calcite here, there's so much out there, especially in the sense of your creative freedom or even energy that's ready to burst out of you. And so many things that you could create in this new place, whether this is a new job or a new place by yourself or a new relationship. There's so much more out there. There's so much more for you, and there's so many more things that you could do. You don't have to be stuck here. You don't have to be stuck somewhere that you've gotten everything out of, whatever this situation, this job, this home that you're in. It's time to grow. It's time to expand. And it's time for you to get more in alignment with yourself and what you really want to do. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our timing, and then we'll see what Spirit has to say in terms of what action or what advice it has. So timing wise, we have, oh, that's interesting. North Node, step out of your comfort zone. So yes, I really think maybe for the people that's in this reading, you're ready for a change. Or maybe deep down you know you're ready for a change, but your ego is getting in the way and telling you all of these things that you're not ready for, or all these other excuses. The ego, okay, the ego is not a bad thing. The ego is there because it was our defense mechanism, and it still is. Like, it helps us protect ourselves emotionally, decisions and things like that. And it's good to honor that, but that also means that it won't be there to help. It's not something that will help us when we're trying to grow and step out of our comfort zone, because it's meant to keep us in our comfort zone. So in times like this, that's why I'm saying this grounding is needed. When those worries are arising, you need to ask yourself, is this my ego? Is this my worries? Am I being overly anxious right now? Or am I dramatizing it? What really is the truth of the situation? What really are my options? And, feel free, just because this is telling you that you can do things by yourself. Yes, you can do that, but you can still reach out to other people. You can reach out to those that are telling you, yeah, go for it. See what you can learn from. Maybe it's being single for a little bit, or maybe it's a new job. Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. Sorry. We have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So timing wise, and always take timing as a grain of salt with readings, just because it can be very volatile in readings and divinations. So just keep that in mind. The North Node, when I'm currently filming this, it had already moved nodes for the year of 2025. That's when I'm filming this. This is a timeless reading, so take it to apply to what's happening with you when you're seeing this. But I believe the North Node isn't going to shift until July 2026. Here's the thing. It could be in July 2026, which I know is a very long time from now, but You have the Eight of Wands here, so I feel like this is going to come in faster. Actually, it's going to come in fast in general. So it could be, because we are close to July when I'm filming this. So it could be the month of July. Or I would also take into account the timing of the North Node. So right now, the North Node is in Pisces, I believe. Yes, it should be in Pisces. So that could have been March. That has passed at this time, but that could also be March 2026, or it could be the springtime wherever you're at. The other thing I'm getting with this is, it's interesting because I believe yours is the only group that's getting more of a vague answer in terms of timing. I actually got more, numbers and dates when it came to the other two groups. So for yours, I'm getting a message that it's dependent on this Eight of Cups. It's dependent when you've committed to a belief and an idea, a decision. Because I'm also getting the sense that maybe you might be going back and forth with this decision. Again, ground, think it through that way, journal it out if you have to, talk it through with somebody that's going to be encouraging and supportive. Don't go to your friend that's always a skeptic. You know the one, right? So keep that in mind. So once you've solidified this, I feel like everything is going to fall into place, and it's gonna be fast. And maybe that's why this is so volatile feeling right now, is that it's very dependent on you and the decision that you make. Okay, so let's see what advice Spirit has for you. We have transformation. That actually makes a lot of sense. Because, like I said, it's very dependent on you, because I think part of the lesson and part of the transformation that you're going to go under is this. You are learning to be the damsel that can save herself. And learning that you're more capable than you give yourself credit for. You're more capable than what your friends, your family, what other people give you credit for. I'm getting this message or this imagery of someone that is taught to be kind of like the ditzy person or kind of like the airhead. Yeah, no, really, that is it. It's coming through very loud and clear. Someone that's, a little bit of the airhead, a little bit of the ditz in the group, and maybe someone that just like isn't as mature. And I'm not saying you're immature or anything, but it's just maybe that's how your friends see you or your family sees you. But I think the biggest thing is that you see yourself that way as well. And the thing is, you don't have to. Part of the transformation you're going through is the way that you see yourself, and the fact that it doesn't matter what other people think. It depends on how you view yourself. And if you reframe it and view yourself as someone that's very capable, that can handle living on her own, or that can handle this new job. Maybe it's even a management job, something that puts you in a leadership position. Maybe it's handling a mature and grown up or very committed relationship. Seeing yourself as the person that can and the person that will is something that only you can give yourself. It doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what others or how others view you, whether they think you're the child of the group. It just matters what you feel about yourself and how you see yourself. So that's a transformation I'm getting here. And the other thing is the Seven of Crystals. This is all about patience, and Spirit is saying, you're there, you're close. You've been in a cocoon for a while, and that Spirit sees this as they really commend you on your efforts, but it's time to break out of the cocoon and transform and change and be a butterfly and be more in alignment with your faith. This is a very esoteric reading, and usually I do try and bring it back to something practical, but that's just how the readings are today. I will say this is a very powerful reading and a very powerful time with you. Even if it's an internal shift, remember that everything starts from within. And as I've said before, that starts with your decision. That starts with your commitment to yourself. That starts with the acceptance that you can do this and that you will, and that you can rely on yourself. And to discern who the people are that you're taking with you on this new chapter. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the messages. I do want to send us off with an affirmations card, so let's see what that is for you, group 3. Okay, there we go. Ooh, this is an interesting one. I don't think I've ever gotten this card, and it doesn't want to focus. Okay. Guardian Angel. Someone from the other side says, hello. You are guided and protected. Yeah, you guys, again, the 8 of Cups, the 6 of Wands. You are very protected, so go after what you want. And just know that everything is going to be okay and that you'll be able to make it through. You're guided, you're protected, you have a guardian angel that's watching over you. And yeah. All right, if you enjoyed this reading, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for letting me read for you. If you like these types of readings, then please make sure you subscribe for more readings in the future. If you like astrology, spirituality, personal development, and all of that, we do that on just this channel. And if anything resonated with you, I'd love to talk with you guys about it down in the comments, so go ahead and leave me a comment below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.